A new conflict has started between Israel and Palestine. This happened early in the morning on October 7th, while most Israelis were sleeping. Suddenly, loud sirens went off, and many rockets were fired at cities in Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces believed that about 2,200 rockets were launched, but the group called Hamas says it's even more, around 5,000 rockets. Israel has a defense system called the Iron Dome, which usually stops rockets and keeps the country safe. But in this attack, the Iron Dome couldn't stop 5,000 rockets in just 20 minutes, and many people in Israel were hurt or killed. This surprise attack is one of the biggest conflicts between Israel and Palestine in a long time. It's a bit like the Yom Kippur War that happened 50 years ago. In this recent attack, Hamas used rockets, ground attacks, sea attacks, and air attacks. They even broke the border wall between Israel and Gaza. Some Palestinians entered Israel on motorcycles, and others flew in using special machines. They also attacked from the sea using speedboats. In one day, many things happened. They attacked an Israeli military base, captured an Israeli tank, and took Israeli soldiers as hostages. They even went into Israeli towns and cities near the border. Sadly, many people, including innocent ones, were hurt or taken as hostages. Israel declared a state of war and started airstrikes in Gaza, which hurt many Palestinians. To understand the situation better, let's look at the map. Israel and Palestine are in the Middle East, with countries like Lebanon to the north, Syria to the northeast, Jordan to the east, Egypt to the southwest, and the Mediterranean Sea to the west. In the middle is Israel, while Palestine is split into two parts, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. The West Bank has Israeli settlements that are considered illegal by many countries. Palestinian authorities control the West Bank, and they are under the Fatah party. The Gaza Strip is run by Hamas, which many countries see as a terrorist group. In different parts of the world, some countries think that a group called Hamas is bad, like Canada, the European Union, Israel, Japan, Australia, the USA, and the UK. But other countries like Brazil, China, Egypt, Iran, Norway, Qatar, Russia, Syria, and Turkey don't think Hamas is bad. Some places, like New Zealand and Paraguay, only think the military part of Hamas is bad. This is interesting because it shows how different countries have different opinions about what's happening. On a map, you can see the Gaza Strip in red and some Palestinian fighters going into Israel in blue. The leader of the military part of Hamas, Mohammed al-Daif, called their actions Operation Al-Aqsa Flood. He says they're doing this because they're upset about things happening at a place called Al-Aqsa Mosque. Israel is also doing something. They call it Operation Iron Swords. Their military is using their Navy, Air Force, and ground forces to attack Gaza. They're also reducing the electricity that goes to Gaza, which comes from Israel. The leader of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, said, "We are at war."
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה, לא במבצע, לא בסבבים, במלחמה.
He said the enemy will have big problems. Israel's defense minister thinks Hamas made a big mistake, and Israel wants to win this war. A big part of this fight is about Mossad, which is a famous spy agency in Israel. They usually do a great job, but this time, it seems they couldn't stop this attack. Mossad is known for doing secret missions all around the world. People are wondering how they couldn't find all the rockets in Gaza. There are cameras and sensors at the border between Gaza and Israel, so it's strange that they missed this. People in Israel are also asking questions about their own government. Someone who used to be in charge of the Navy talked on TV and said the government failed. People want to know where their defense forces, police, and security teams were. They're looking into why the intelligence failed. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, said he doesn't like what's happening and supports Israel a lot. The European Union, which is a group of countries, also said they don't like the attack, but they think Israel can defend itself, and they want Israeli hostages to be safe. Some countries are helping a group called Hamas, which they think is doing the right thing to defend themselves. Other countries are trying to make peace between Israel and Palestine. The leader of the Palestinians in the West Bank says they have the right to protect themselves. I have already created a video about the conflict between Israel and Palestine. It talked about how this problem has been going on for a long time. It started with Jewish people escaping from Europe because they were being treated badly. They went to Palestine, but the Palestinians who were already living there became refugees in their own land. The Palestinian cause deserves support, but not by endorsing terrorism. While injustices have occurred against common people in Palestine, engaging in terrorism that targets ordinary Israeli civilians is never justifiable. It's crucial to reiterate that Hamas is a designated organization, while Israel is a powerful country with a legitimate democratic government. Consequently, Israel must exercise its power responsibly. Unfortunately, there are individuals with extreme views on both sides of this conflict. Some advocate for the complete eradication of Palestine, while others celebrate attacks on Israel, desiring its destruction. When encountering such comments on social media, remember your humanity and refrain from propagating hate. Warmongering may seem easy when viewed from a distance, but consider the hardships faced by ordinary Israeli and Palestinian families caught in the midst of this war. Their lives come to a standstill, overshadowed by the constant fear of rocket strikes on their homes. Israel aims to demonstrate responsible conduct in its counteroffensive. For instance, before conducting an airstrike on a 14-story building in Palestine, Israel issued a 10-minute warning to allow residents to evacuate. Similar warnings have been issued in previous incidents, such as the one given to Fatima Bashir's family before an Israeli airstrike in May of this year. Although Israel claims these warnings are standard practice, the reality is that many Palestinian civilians have tragically lost their lives in Israeli airstrikes. We can only hope for a lasting peace between these two nations. But considering the current situation, it appears that this conflict will persist for an extended period. I recommend delving into the historical context of the Israel-Palestine conflict to understand the root causes. For a comprehensive explanation, please refer to my detailed video on the subject. By this mean goodbye. See you in the next one.